Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We have spoke to pretty much everyone I could find here in Dresden, and I'm going to click the Manage Crusade Affairs button, and I've got a horrible feeling I'm about to get very confused. Oh god. Okay, so this is the Crusade menu, and there are demon armies everywhere. Oh, here we go. Now that you have captured Dresden, new options for the Crusade have become available to you. You can now construct buildings in forts and Dresden, issue decrees, and capture and investigate new regions. Both mercenary and trainable units will appear at the commander's headquarters in Dresden. The demon armies will try to take Dresden from you. Destroy them, or else, after 7 days of siege, Dresden will become completely blocked by enemy forces, and you will no longer be able to command the Crusade. To access the Crusade Management menu, click the button in the bottom right corner of the screen on the global map. Developing each of the Crusade's stats opens up new options that empower your armies and economy. Military focuses on drilling and training units. Recruit both trainable and mercenary units to improve the rank of your military stat. Logistics focuses on economy and construction. Construct buildings to improve the rank of your logistics stat. Diplomacy focuses on establishing contacts with mercenaries and foreign nations. Enhance the significance of your crusade by earning resources of all types to improve the rank of your diplomacy stat. Leadership focuses on morale and army generals. Win battles and level up your generals to improve the rank of your leadership stat. Once the rank up requirements for one of the Crusader stats has been met, you will unlock the corresponding decree. Your military campaign will require 3 types of resources: finance points, material points, and energy points. Finance points are used for all of the Crusade's various needs, but first and foremost they are needed to recruit units. Material points are used primarily for building construction. Energy points are used for the recruitment of mythic units and the completion of certain decrees. You gain new resource points each day. Prevailing over demon armies in battle and constructing certain buildings increase the income of resources. You can also purchase the required resources with gold. I feel like that tutorial didn't explain any of these buttons. Okay, so we have events down here. Decrees, I assume that's a rank up, development, economy, army, command, relics, other, map, campaign. Well, let's start with events, I guess. I don't know. A problem with 9 lives. The quartermasters brought cats to Dresden so that they would keep the stores safe from rats. Smaller demons have learned to assume the form of a cat to sneak into the city and wreak havoc. The soldiers are ready to start hunting cats, but the quartermasters are against it. Oh good, it does make it bigger. I read it down there just in case it didn't. Okay, so I can make a decision. Leave the cats be and exercise vigilance. Get rid of the cats. This option is unavailable because you did not choose the path of the trickster. Or ask the cult of Bastet for help. Is that a demon cult? Or is that just a bunch of, like, cat ladies? Because I feel like a bunch of cat ladies could probably help me out here. But let's just leave the... Oh, sod it. Let's ask the cult. It's the one that interests me the most. Sociel, remembering the cult of Bastet, poorly known in Avestan, sent a few letters to Osirian. Priestesses of the goddess of cats are willing to identify the demons and remain to care for the cats. Their knowledge of divine rituals will prove useful to the crusade. Nice! We've got crazy cat ladies here. A visitor from the past. A small crevice opened in the middle of Dresden. Then a tiny, sickly old man climbed out. Coughing heavily, he introduced himself as a spirit of the Sarkorian land and thanked the Crusaders for their struggle. He wishes to help the crusade and is offering the commander a choice. He can either open up the metal deposits and sleep beneath the earth not far from the fortress to grow lush forests on top of them where wild game will make his home. So, Do we want metal or do we want forests? As... What are our options? We can choose the metal deposits, we can choose the forests. We can convince the spirit to help with everything he can, or we can take care of the spirit. I'm going to go with forests, and hope that this isn't a trick. Upon hearing the commander's choice, the tiny old man smiled and melted into the earth. Soon after, scouts reported that several groves appeared just outside Dresden. The resulting fresh air gives the soldiers strength. Okay. So, if I click decrees, what's going to happen? Oh, God. Well, look at them all. Why is there so many? Okay. You can only have one of your decrees issued for each of the crusade stats at any given time. Each decree has a cost and a completion time. Some decrees can only be issued once. Others have a repeat time, which is displayed in the decree description window. Your progress in crusade management unlocks certain special decrees. A stat rank up decree becomes available upon reaching specific rank up requirements. A relic upgrade decree, which turns a relic into a powerful artifact for your party to use, becomes available when you obtain a suitable relic. Oh, gods above. I don't suppose I can click the first one and then scroll through them. What is this? Robust. Unit has a +2 bonus to maximum HP. Oh, is that what I got for the forests? Oh, that's kind of cool. The fate of the crest of the fallen knight. A skilled craftsman can do some work on this relic. The relic will be augmented. Okay, hang on. Let me just have a quick peek at my relics. What is this? Oh, okay, so this is just listing the fate of the phylactery of Stevanus the Rotten. These are things that I picked up, right? In battles. So I can upgrade these? The fate of Chilraw's hide and tusks. Okay. These will take 5 days. I mean, these are probably worth doing just to see what items I get. The fate of the unholy symbol of Ravagug. And this is diplomacy, so I'm assuming each one of these, one's going to be diplomacy, one's going to be military, and one's going to be economic, right? That makes some level of sense. Forming a military council? Yeah, see, this is military. A council of officers seasoned in the art of war will help the commander to implement new tactics and diversify her army's ranks with more skilled units. Seems like a good thing to go through, but I am going to make sure I go through all of these. The crusade depends on the support of Nero Cyan and foreign countries. The diplomatic council will see to it that no political problems interfere with the regular inflow of gold and recruits to Dresden. These all seem worth it. Like military council, diplomatic council, a staff council. One can command a small unit alone, but to manage an army, one needs a staff council. Surrounded by experienced advisors, the commander will be able to make decisions affecting the life and morale of the entire army. Also seems good. Studying the Sword of Valor. The Sword of Valor, the great relic of the Crusades, mysteriously changed upon coming into contact with the commander. What does this mean? Clerics and wizards could shed some light on the artifact's properties. Okay. Forming a logistics council. The success of military action depends on regular supply of everything troops need and the judicious distribution of resources. The Logistic Council, made up of experienced officers, will ensure that there is no chaos in the army, while the commander's attention is focused on the front line. Okay. Outpost to Bastion expansion. By upgrading an outpost to a bastion, the commander will expand its territory for buildings, as well as allow the construction of advanced structures here. This is very expensive. I wish I could see my resources. Am I insane? Can I not see my resources on the screen that I spend the resources on? I'm frantically looking around the screen. Apparently not. Orders to Irabeth? Irabeth's breakdown, which occurred before the assault on Dresden, still haunts her mind. She should be reminded that she was, is, and will always be a hero in the eyes of the soldiers by appointing her as commander of a small squad of crusaders. Unfortunately, because Irabeth is occupied as a squad leader, her duties in the Crusade's command have to be transferred to someone else. And then finally, lost scouts. Scouts cannot work out how the demon army picks its way through advanced units to be able to suddenly attack the Crusader forces. Recently, another suspicious incident took place. Some scouts did not return from their mission to explore the territory to the south of Dresden. More thorough reconnaissance of the region is needed. Probably the source of the demon apparition is in there somewhere. Right, I've read them all. That's everything that had a thing. It looks like I can... If I click one of these, it sorts out what they actually are. Looks like ranking up. Is it? For those? Which of these ones I'm probably going to do first, I guess? Let's form a... I mean, honestly... Can I do all of these? Because they're all different points? I don't know. Let's find out. I think logistics is probably the most important, so I'm going to do logistics. Can I do all of them? Because they're in... Yes, I can, because they're each in different types. Okay. But if I was to do relics, that would be diplomacy. So yes, I can't do those, hence the red on top of them. Interesting. Okay. That's not so bad. I could skip the day, but I'm not going to. We go to the Mao. My good God. Huh. Well, there's the world wound right there, huh? Christ. And then this is the campaign map? Yep. Commander's Court. I'd like to go to the Commander's Court. I don't know how to get there, though. Unless it's following that road there. Apparently I just have a lot of just random units just chilling. The main force is here, I guess? Can I, like, do anything with Dresden? Whoops. Yeah, manage. Is this just going to bring me to the other screen? Or is this going to... Because they talked about buildings and stuff? Okay. Can I have a tutorial, please? Okay, good. I can only build where it wants me to build. Okay. Wow. Can I rename Dresden to something else? Asking for a friend. Apparently not. Oh, there is a lot. Teleportation circle. A network of teleportation circles connects the Crusades' forts, allowing forces to be transported quickly to different sections of the front. Teleportation circle allows the commander's party to teleport to this fort from anywhere on the map. That seems required, if I'm completely honest with you. Okay. Is there anything that's like... let me just read through these. I'm so sorry. This is going to be another one of those episodes where I achieve absolutely nothing other than reading. Alchemist's Laboratory. The wise alchemist stores magic in glass vials so that it can be unleashed on the battlefield at the decisive moment. An alchemist's laboratory provides a +10 bonus to energy for all generals. Apothecary, medicines and invigorating potions prepared by the apothecary boost soldiers' energy and heal their wounds. An apothecary provides a +10 bonus to HP for all trainable units in adjoining buildings. Oh. Only one apothecary can be built in each fort except Dresden. So this building placement is important then. So is this a building down here? This is a supply center? The advance of the Crusade deeper into enemy territory lengthens supply routes and complicates logistics. The supply center is a citadel of scribes, clerics and coachmen whose job it is to see that the advancing army faces no shortages of medical supplies, ammunition or provisions. A supply center increases material points income by 3. Only one supply center can be built in each fort. Alright, what's an arsenal do? A skilled master craftsman makes sturdy armor here that not even demon blades can pierce. An arsenal provides a +1 bonus to AC for all trainable units in adjoining buildings. Only one arsenal can be built anywhere except for Dresden. A citadel! When the enemy storms the outer walls of the fort, the defenders retreat to the citadel, where they can maintain the defense for many more. The citadel increases the time of a siege of the fort by 3 days. We have an archery range. We already have an arsenal. We have a smithy. And a barracks. Okay. Engineer's workshop. Here is where educated engineers and architects make their necessary calculations for the construction projects progress quickly and on budget. An engineer's workshop reduces the cost of building construction by 10%. Only one can be built in total. That calls to me on the grounds that a 10% reduction over a long period of time could be a lot of money. Hall of Glory, valuable trophies captured by Crusaders draw glory-hunting mercenaries to the crusade. With a chance to join such an illustrious fighting force, they are willing to offer their services at a discount. Hall of Glory reduces the cost of recruiting mercenary units by 5%. Hall of Strategy. The Hall of Strategy is where the Crusade's brightest military minds share their hard-won knowledge and devise new tactical maneuvers that will help them prevail in battle. The Hall of Strategy provides a +1 bonus to attack and defense and a +2 bonus to power for all generals. A hospital, usually a good shout. The hospital is where clerics and healers tend wounded soldiers so that their wounds will quickly heal and they can return to duty. +5 bonus to infirmary size for all generals. Stables. Spacious stables meant to house battle horses and other mounts. The main stables allow recruitment and will provide weekly recruitment growth for mounted scouts, paladins. Wait, is it mounted paladins or is it just paladins? Maybe paladins are always on horses. Can I actually... Can I click this? Can I click on this if I click that? No. Raiders, hedge knights, and light cavalry if available. Mercenary Guild, an institution where the soldiers of fortune gather in anticipation of new contracts. Membership of the guild isn't cheap, but it provides many privileges, attracting the best mercenaries across the whole of Golarion. Mercenary Guild increases the number of available mercenary units by 1. Military Academy. Here officers receive their military education, studying treaties on warfare written by generals of previous eras and honing their own tactics. +1 bonus to attack and AC on all trainable units. Pathfinder Society Lodge. The Pathfinder Society has connections all across Golarion. Friendship with them will help to attract experienced mercenaries to the crusade. +1 bonus to attack and AC and saving throws of all mercenary units. There's a lot of boosting of mercenary units, which I didn't really expect. A sanctuary, an ancient sacred place of Sikoris that was cleansed of demonic corruption and once again serves as a beacon of faith for mortals. A sanctuary increases energy point income by 4. Shelter, protected by spells. This is the only place where weary crusaders can rest without fear of the harmful magic of the abyss. A shelter allows the commander's party to rest in the fort without increasing the effect of the abyssal corruption. I don't think I need to worry about that in Dresden. Actually, don't know. We've already got a smithy. +1 bonus to attack for all trainable units in adjoining buildings. There's a teleportation circle. The training grounds. Here fighters hone their combat skills and recruits undergo rigorous trials set by experienced officers. +10% bonus to damage for all trainable units in adjoining buildings. And then a watchtower. Vigilant watchmen can warn the garrison about advancing armies and give their comrades time to prepare for battle. A watchtower provides all allied units within the fort's area of control a +1 bonus to attack, AC saving throws, and initiative. I think I'm going to build the engineer's workshop. It's going to cost me 2,000 diamonds and 300 metal. I don't really know where to put it. Next to the supply center. Can I? No, I was going to say, can I rotate this? I don't think I can. The shelter might have been a good idea, but I can build multiple things. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Hospital's pretty cheap. But I don't know how helpful it's going to be, I suppose. Stables could be useful. Mercenary Guild, Military Academy. All of these seem remarkably useful. Could build a Sicarian temple. A sanctuary. And increase our energy by 4 each turn. Don't know how important energy actually is, but everything requires it, so... Doesn't seem too bad of an idea. It's not too expensive. Don't really know where to build it, and I can't move it once I've built it. I'm not a huge fan of this adjoining thing. Adjoining buildings thing, without really knowing what to build. Let's just build it there. How bad can it be? Right. I hope... I'm going to build the teleportation circle. I just think this is incredibly important, so I'm just going to build it. We'll put it next to the supply center, you know. Okay, I think that's us out of metal. I suppose I could build the training grounds. I could build the society lodge, the hospital, the citadel. I mean, the watchtower? Training grounds provide a +10 bonus to damage to all trainable units. Let's do it. Let's build the training ground. Okay, now we're out of resources. Hopefully I haven't made any categorical errors. I haven't looked anything up, so I am just making this up as I go along. As you all know by now. Okay. How does one leave? I guess that button. What does this button do? Ah. Okay, so that's my menu. On the Crusade management screen, you can make decisions regarding current events, which are displayed at the bottom of the screen on the left, issue decrees, which can be displayed by clicking the decrees button on the right. You can display only a fraction of the available decrees by selecting one of the filters. Construct buildings in forts and in Dresden. To access the construction screen, click on Dresden or a fort on the map. I guess this is a fort here? Wait, on the map. Oh god. Can I do something here? No, okay. That's obviously not a fort, that's a lost chapel. I've been told I can go back there, I think. At some point. I should probably think about doing that. Right, can I get to the commander's court? I don't appear to be able to change to my main group. I think that might have something to do with the fact that I am in fact not out of Dresden. This, I can just control my armies from here, I guess. I mean, yeah, I'll just accept that. New morale banners. Okay, after capturing Dresden, the Crusaders raised the 3 morale banners on the city walls. The banner of victory stays green while you defeat demon armies. Each victory over a demon army in the lands of Yath, Grey Road, Lake Lost to the Sun, and the Winter Sun Lands region adds 6 days to the time the banner of victory stays green. The banner of conquest stays green while you capture demon forts. Each capture of a demon fort in the lands of Yath, the Winter Sun Lands region adds 30 days to the time of the banner of conquest. Reclaiming forts that were previously lost does not affect the banner of conquest. So if I capture one, lose one, I don't get it back. The banner of defense remains green as long as none of your forts are under siege. If any of your forts is besieged, the banner of defense turns yellow for 3 days, then turns red. As long as any fort remains captured by the demons, the banner remains red. Banners still affect the daily change of Crusade morale. A red banner decreases morale by 3 per day. A yellow or green banner increases it by 1 per day. Nice. Warriors have discovered what attracted such a horde of monsters. An impressive ambulant laboratory belonging to some insane alchemist. The laboratory had been mercilessly plundered, and the jars of elixirs and ingredients bore sinister holes through which the hideous creatures had consumed their contents, like some exquisite nectar. Luckily, some of the alchemist's inventory survived and now belongs to the Crusaders. Oh, we gained some energy there. I want to see if we can get to there. Is it via that path? Hang. Whoops. Let's send... What are you, scouts? I don't know. Let's send you to your potential deaths. Damn it! What do you mean? Damn. I thought it was going to go there. Maybe it's that path and it goes up like that. Okay. Well, there's a fort there. The hamlet of Sork. What can we do with these? I'm assuming they share resources with the rest of us. Ooh, but there is much less places to build stuff in forts, huh? Okay, that makes some level of sense. And yes, it does share resources. Unsurprisingly. Well, I'd like to see if I can get to Commander's Court. So let's... Do I want to enter Dresden? Oh, I'm so confused. Can I just quit? Wait, can I just quit this screen? There we go. So can I leave? I'm curious to see if I can manage Crusade affairs via just the campaign screen? Or is this where I find out that all of my adventures are now going to be taking place? From just inside of a Oh! Inside a castle. Okay, so I can like fast travel? Let's just go to here. Right. I've learnt my lesson about having Regil and Sealer. For now, I'm just going to have Sealer, I think. As much as I love Regil. And I guess I'm taking Camellia. Oh, I suppose I could take... Are you a rogue? You look like a rogue. Wait, hang on. Can I see your stats? He was right there, wasn't he? Yep. What are you? Do you have trickery? It's very important. Oh, you're a warrior? I guess that kind of makes sense. I've forgotten how to see his skills. Stealth. He does have quite high stealth. Oh, he does have trickery, but it's only 3. Whereas Camellia has 21 trickery, so I think we'll take Camellia. As much as I need to take Greyboar to the dragon place, I'm going to have to come back to pick him up at some point. Let me just level up Camellia real quick. Combat casting. She's adept at spellcasting when threatened or distracted. +4 bonus on concentration checks. And then mythic level. Greater abundant casting. Nice. More spells. Never say no. Why is there a... Oh, okay. That's to issue an order. Right. Is there a button here that allows me to go into like Crusade management mode? I think it was that button. Yes. Okay. So I can still do decrees and stuff while I'm not in Dresden. Oh god, now you need your own infrastructure to hire trainable units. To train infantry units, build the main barracks. To recruit ranged units, build the main shooting range. To recruit cavalry units, build the main stables. You still have access to mercenary units. These arrive in Dresden every week. The base stat of mercenary units are better than those of trainable units, but mercenaries require more resources and can only be recruited as a group in its entirety. If you are not satisfied with the mercenaries that have arrived in a given week, you can search for new units. The number of times you can search for free per week is limited, but can increase in time. Depending on the mythic path that you have chosen, you will gain access to decrees that recruit special mythic units to your cause. Oh, can I get more dragons? That would be pretty cool. Is this an army that's in Dresden right now? Oh, they're mounted scouts. That's what they are. I mean, while I'm here, I guess I want big army. I don't know if I should have many armies or just one big army still. I don't quite work that out yet, but I guess we'll find out. Can I get to Commander's Court? Damn it, 1 day, 11 hours. Come on. Whoops. I would like to see if we can... Go this way? Yeah. So I feel like that's quicker somehow. Let's transfer these troops over to the main army. Can I take the mounted scouts with me? No, only 4. With the Hell Knights I need to try and consolidate all of my troops together, because right now everything's a bit of a mess and it's going to annoy me. This location is unknown. Yeah, we can go here. Take 12 hours. Let's go. I'm assuming when the edicts pass, something will change. I don't know. What do you... How do I get to Commander's Court? How do I get there? There's no paths. It's, oh god. I feel like resting in Dresden's probably a better idea, but I don't actually know where to rest in Dresden. Hang on. Oh, it does tell me if there's a thing there. I mean, surely it would be in the Citadel. Hang on, let me see if I can find the bed and the storage and stuff. Oh. The tall, gaunt half-elf salutes you solemnly. Commander, it is an honor to call this first meeting of the Military Council to order. I am Captain Odan, and I've been serving under your command ever since the assault on the Grey Garrison. I will do my best to be of as much use to you as possible in this role. The foundation of the military is cold calculation and discipline. These are the principles I will seek to impart to the Crusaders. If we are to win this war, we must forget about mercy. For our enemies, for our troops, and for ourselves. Well, Commander, your sister Sela is no renowned general, but she spent half her life tussling with evil. It looks like I'll be stepping up on behalf of all of Imaday's faithful here. I hope my advice will prove useful. Demons aren't the first invaders to come to the lands of Sakaris. I know this country, and I know how people used to fight here in the old days. Listen to me, War Chief, and I'll tell you how to turn the land itself into our ally. The first issue on the Military Council's agenda is the reorganization of troops. Our inventory has been bled dry. The forces Her Majesty granted to us were enough to take Dresden, but we need more troops to hold it. Furthermore, the army was assembled in great haste after the assault on Canabris, and was never adequately equipped. Unfortunately, we don't have much time for redeployment. Our scouts report that a powerful Baylor, Khorramzadeh, who's that? One of Discari's most powerful generals, but his personal might is not the only reason why he poses such a threat in combat. They call him the World Wound Strategist, for he is the shrewdest general among demonkind. Not too long ago, he oversaw one of the most successful assaults on Canabris and nearly destroyed the Wardstone, an achievement that only Lord Discari himself was able to claim in the end. He's already preparing a retaliatory strike on Dresden, but we can rely on freshly conscripted Mendevian soldiers. They may not have the skill, but our strength, as always, lies in the number and the fervour of the volunteers joining the Crusades. We can't throw everyone into the meat grinder. We'll just get our youths killed for nothing. We need to select the best among the recruits, or even better, hold a contest. The bravest and the most capable will join the Crusaders. The death count is always highest in the inventory. Its purpose is to serve as a shield. It would be wise to invest our resources in hiring and training heavy footmen with shields to ensure maximum protection, even if it limits their mobility and makes them less threatening to the enemy. Never enough folk. Same in war as it is in peacetime. We dealt with that problem by finding helpers among the animals. Why can't we do the same now? Strengthen the inventory with war dogs. One soldier with a dog at his side is more like 1.5 fighters. Maybe even 2. Ooh, okay. Captain Odan, what does the Military Council do? The Military Council determines the strategy for our troops, enacts army reforms, approves new equipment standards, and makes decisions on all issues regarding military action on the front lines. Who is this Baylor? The most trusted servant of the demon lord Discari. Among the historians of the Mendevian Crusades, he is known as the strategist of the World Wound. He's not as renowned as Minago, the conqueror of Dresden, or Hep Zamira, daughter of Baphomet, but he has claimed the most major victories over the forces of Mendev. He's a general, and quite possibly one of the best tacticians in the entire Abyss. I've been studying his style of warfare for years. He may seem like an ordinary demon, another typical war taskmaster, but that's a fallacy. Like a beast following a scent, he senses weakness in his enemy's defenses and strikes at them, sending soldiers to bring targeted carnage. His uncanny charisma attracts more and more soldiers to him, though he's never short on troops and sacrifices them like pawns whenever he pleases in order to achieve his victories. Kor Maradadar is the face of the demon host. For many years I've been gathering research on him, preparing for the day our armies would clash with his once more. I hope my counsel will help you defeat him, but so far he's known no defeats. I have a question for my advisors. Seela, have you ever commanded an army before? Not on a scale like this, of course not, but I fought evil and I know its tricks. Besides, war makes people callous, and it's always useful to have a paladin advisor around to remind you at a crucial moment what we're actually fighting for, right? Regil, why do you sit on the military council? I have command experience, and I intend to impart to the Crusaders at least a modicum of the discipline and rigidity of the Hell Knights. The quality of the Mendevian staff currently available to you leaves much to be desired. Regil glances at the wincing Captain Odan. That much is certain. Ulbrich, do you have military experience? Do I have experience? Ha! I fought on this land back when it was still called Sakaris. I led my clan on raids against our neighbours, drove invaders from our land, and I went to war with my band against orcs and giants. What kind of Sakarian would I be if I stood on the sidelines now? Who are you, Captain Odan? Captain Odan bows ceremoniously. I've served on the front lines of the Mendevian army for over 25 years, and in that time I've gained a wealth of combat experience. His voice sounds calm, but his face darkens at the mention of a wealth of combat experience. I'm considered one of the foremost experts on tactics and strategy in Queen Galfrey's officer corps. I've spent my whole life studying the craft of warfare, and I'm familiar with the thoughts of all prominent military leaders of the last 5 centuries. Furthermore, I wholeheartedly believe in the traditions of Mendev's military art, and will gladly share my knowledge with you, Commander. Want to hear the opinions of my advisors? Seela, do we really need only the bravest and most capable for our inventory? I mean, we can't send untrained rookies to a slaughter. We have the right to command only those who are ready for battle, those who can defend the army. We must find out who has the skill and the guts. Contests are perfect for that, and a little excitement for our warriors couldn't hurt either. We won't get that many winners, but their strength will come from their prowess, not their numbers. Your proposal would leave us with an inventory full of selfish risk-takers dreaming of glory and valor. That is bad material for a soldier. The inventory's role is to be a shield for the archers and mages. All they're required to do is follow orders and hold the line, unto victory or death. Ambitious loners cherry-picked through contests of skill are not fit to perform this duty. I hate agreeing with Regil. I swear, he's supposed to be the bad guy. Damn it! Regil, why do you insist on shield bearers? The infantry is a meat shield intended to catch the blade of the opposing army in its flesh. The shield must be reliable. That is all that is required of it. That is why I would like to see well-armoured shield bearers as our foot soldiers. We must have the option of pitting ranks of footmen against a tide of rampaging demons, knowing with certainty that they will not scatter or die until they have completed their task. Ulbrich, how will war dogs help our inventory? A loyal hound is more than just a set of sharp fangs. It's an extra pair of eyes, a keen nose, and another head, in a way. It's no soldier, but it's extra fighting power. Since we can't get any more human warriors from anywhere, we should swell the ranks with 4-legged fighters. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Odan, you just want to gather up some recruits from Mendev? Yes, institute a draft and try to amass as many new soldiers from Mendev and other lands as we can. We've always drawn our strength from our zeal and our determination to oppose evil. If we start holding contests or selections, we'll turn a Holy Crusade into a job for the chosen few and scare away future volunteers. If we try changing our tried and true tactics, we'll lose valuable time, and our army is in need of fresh blood right now. Okay, so I'm going to go with dogs. Training a dog for war is no easy task, but we had a few tricks in Socorus. Druids today aren't a patch on the old ones, of course, but they can talk to beasts, and that's all we need. I'll train 5 dogs and they'll quickly supply our army with 4-legged reinforcements. Captain Odan salutes you formally. Thank you for your time, Commander. When the reforms are finished and the ranks of our infantry are replenished, I will assemble the military council to discuss new decisions.
Let's save some adventures for later.
Lady Kanomi, you're a fox. A sharp-looking kitsune gives you a quick, business-like bow. Commander, the matters before us are urgent, so let's not stand on ceremony. I am Lady Konomi, the official attaché of Nero Cyan. Here are my credentials. She presents a scroll adorned with Galfrey's seal. Her Majesty has instructed me to lead your headquarters, Diplomatic Council. Honestly, I was surprised when Lady Konomi asked me to join this council, but I will do my best to fill the shoes of a trained diplomat. Yeah. Strange. I got invited to the council too. I'm sure foreign ambassadors will be thrilled to see my face and my manners. Lady Konomi, you haven't mistaken me for some other Crusader Lan, have you? I, like many nobles, have been trained in diplomacy, and in fact, I hold the title of Royal Emissary. It is passed down the Andre line. I must say that prior to this day, I employed my diplomatic skills solely to undermine Mendev's international reputation. It is time to break that habit. I imagine preventing international scandals will be just as interesting as causing them. Who knows? I might even enjoy it. So, what is the Diplomatic Council, and why do I need it? To solve matters of politics, of course. The Crusade is more than just battles and sieges. It is the largest military project in all of Avestan, funded by the treasuries of more than a dozen major powers. And each one of those powers, in addition to seeking victory over demons, also pursues its own goals. The Diplomatic Council will manage this tangle of political interests and prevent the Crusade from losing the favour of influential benefactors. And while we're at it, ensure that Nero Cyan remains satisfied with the state of affairs. After all, for the last 100 years, the entirety of Mendevian politics has revolved around the Crusades in some shape or form. That is why the capital has sent me here, to observe, offer suggestions and keep the diplomatic situation under control. I see, you've been sent to keep an eye on me. Whatever gave you that idea, Commander? I'm not an overseer. I'm your loyal advisor. I do not intend to meddle in the way you run things, just consult with you in cases where the price of error is too high. Put your trust in me and we'll get along swimmingly. After all, none of us here want to see Shelanax and Druma at each other's throats, trying to settle their dispute by using their influence on us as political leverage. Am I wrong? And I doubt you would like it if we made enemies of the ranks of Nero Cyan nobility who would attempt to undermine your war effort. This won't happen as long as you trust my experience. Tell me more about the Royal Council. What is it? The Royal Council, operating under Her Majesty, is the highest governing body in Mendev, and compromises her most able and trusted servants. It is responsible for day-to-day matters of state. They are the hands and the voice of the Queen. The Council has gathered people from all walks of life. Some of them are nobles, but many more are citizens of humble origins who earn their positions through their wit. Many are rich, but a fair number of them are more humble means. Some are pious and pure of heart, like Lord Inquisitor Kassori and Captain Jasper of the Crusader Heralds. Others are more flexible and ambitious, but each of them faithfully serves the Mendev's cause. Okay, I have a question about the composition of this council. Sociel has never had to deal with diplomatic concerns before. That won't be a problem. In my homeland, Tian Zia inviting clerics and paladins of Shilen, the Lady of Chrysanthemums, to take part in diplomatic missions is a common practice. They may not be politicians, but they are perceptive, advocate peace, and favour balanced solutions. I'm flattered by the respect that the worshippers of my goddess receive in Lady Konomi's homeland. Sociel bows his head courteously. I won't let you down, Ellis, and I'll make every effort to prevent our friends from becoming our enemies. Why did you want Darren to take part in the council? Why, because of Count Orande's influence. Naturally. He's a Mendevian aristocrat. The nobility will be inclined to listen to his opinion, and by ensuring the support of the nobles, we'll find ourselves powerful allies. Darren sneers back at her. Oh, believe me, Lady Konomi, I will exert all my effort and influence to make this council's job exciting. Why did you choose lamb? We diplomats call this little trick Mysterious Gurundi Prince. During negotiations, it's always useful to have on your side a representative of some obscure but potentially populous and powerful nation. Without knowing what they're up against and how many mongrels there are, our diplomatic partners will have to contend with this dark horse. So Mr. Lan will be our mongrel prince. If we're negotiating with foreign ambassadors, and I make this sign, Lady Konomi crosses her fingers in an intricate gesture, you immediately start talking about how offensive their proposition is to the mongrel people. Do we have a deal, Mr. Lan? Lan scoffs and glowers at Lady Konomi. I suspected that the word diplomat was synonymous with fraud, but I thought you would be deceiving me, not deceiving others with my help. No, that's not an option. I can represent the Mongols in negotiations, but I'm not going to lie through my teeth. That's a fair stance to take, I guess. Tell me about yourself, Lady Konomi. Who are you? Lady Konomi lowers her eyes in a show of modesty. It's unbecoming of a diplomat to talk about themselves at length, but how am I to refuse you? I come from Tianzia, from the noble Kitsune. Like many Kitsune, I have always been curious to a fault, and my adventures brought me to Avestan, and here in your lands I met my first true love. Politics. I've served as a diplomat in the courts of 6 different sovereigns, but working for Her Majesty turned out to be the most interesting of all. Such riveting webs of intrigues and interests are spun around the crusade of the World Wound. Okay, so what's on the Council's agenda today? I hate to say it, Commander, but not everyone in Nero Cyan is pleased with your progress. Some believe that, to use their words, you are out of control and fancy yourself an independent leader. It wouldn't surprise me if you encountered supply disruptions in the near future. I would suggest quelling their anger. Show the capital you haven't forgotten about the chain of command. For example, you could hold a parade in honour of Her Majesty. If we need to demonstrate that we're keeping Nero Cyan in mind, why don't we invite the capital's High Priest Dresden for a religious festival? It'll be appropriate, and the Church's support will shield us from some of the accusations of the schemers. Pander to naysayers? I think not. I propose we hold a parade in your honour, Airless. This is your victory, and if cousin Galfrey wants to show off in front of the soldiers, she's welcome to capture something of her own. Lan's eyes flash with anger. Are they out of their mind? We've got a whole Dresden full of soldiers who need medicine, food and weapons. Until everyone has been taken care of, we can't waste a single coin on pointless celebrations. What if we did incur Neo Cyan's discontent? You were too good. You reclaimed Carnarvos, and you won the Battle of Dresden. You're a menace to the World Wound. Your authority grows and your influence of the Queen's confidence diminishes. Your authority grows, and the influence of the Queen's confidence diminishes. This creates the impression there's only enough space for you at the top. The members of the Royal Council are afraid that you will muscle them out of the political arena altogether. After all, if you're doing so well, maybe Her Majesty doesn't need them that much. Therefore, they might try to discredit you, impede your war effort, reduce the scale of your victories, make some concessions, and they'll see that you're open to negotiations. Do I want to hear the opinions? Alright, let's do it. Sociel, how does inviting the High Priest to our festival help us? Without a doubt, we should remain loyal to the Queen and respect the hierarchy, but that doesn't mean we have to kowtow to the Royal Council whenever they ask. I think we should neither do their bidding nor seek to quarrel with them. Rather, we should try to take the middle path. The High Priest of Nero Cyan is a powerful figure, yet he's not a schemer or a politician. By inviting him to the festival, we'll both show that we're not cutting ties with Nero Cyan, and we'll let them know that we have influential friends that are not about to buckle under the Royal Council. Darren, what's the point of taunting the capital with throwing a parade in my honour? There's a fine line between taunting and setting boundaries, and between showing respect and putting on a collar. Mind you, I'm not suggesting anything treasonous or disrespectful. A parade in honor of the true heroine of Dresden and Canabris. What could be more natural than that? Besides, a healthy amount of disobedience guarantees that people won't pester you with lectures and nonsense as often. A dozen tutors responsible for my upbringing can attest to that. Lan? What are they going to do about it? We're the ones protecting them from the demons, not the other way round. Having loyalties from the capital is great, but there are more important things, like having the loyalty of our own soldiers. When the demons come, what will we do? Shake our fists and say we've got powerful friends in Nero Cyan? Why, that's true. Who needs to stay friends with those who supply you with provisions, recruits and weapons? And so there's certainly no reason to fear that base jealousy and envy at the sight of your glory might get the better of their common sense, because that's never happened before. Lady Konomi, what good will a parade in Her Majesty's honour do? It will be symbolic and affordable. Show them how much you respect and value Her Majesty. Make a curtsy to those who pay for your arrows, swords and bread. The Royal Council has power. You wouldn't want to turn those patrons into adversaries and test whose influence is greater, yours or theirs. Please them, and they will stop worrying about your loyalty, and you'll be able to focus on your war. So, let me get this straight. Hiding behind our backs and buying their safety from a demon invasion with bread and other people's lives is a new form of charity? Are you sure we shouldn't go to them and drop to our knees and thank them for allowing us to die in this war? Okay, I think we are... It's either the High Priest or the Queen. Because I like the Queen, I'm going to hold a parade in the Queen's honour. I'm glad you've listened to my proposal. Making friends in the Royal Council will go a long way. It's good that we've got off on the right foot, Commander. There will be plenty more issues requiring your decision soon, but I do not doubt that we will handle them just as expediently. We got another... Okay, we got another council. Oh boy. Hail, Commander. Before you, an aged yet fit and sturdy Gurundi stands at attention. His dark skin has an earthy tone to it, and crystals sparkle forth from where his hair and eyebrows should be, clearly identifying him as an Oreed. Captain Harmatan, chair of your staff council, by order of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, here to deliver a report. I'm on this council too, Seela salutes briskly. We'll be racking our brains on how to improve troop morale. I reckon the key is to back up our words with actions. Lead your soldiers by example, and they'll be eager to follow. I agree with that one. Drawing on my experience as a paralictor, my advice is to maintain calculated moderation in every regard, be it in incentive or penalty, and to be decisive. We have no need for doubts or turmoil. I'm doomed to be your advisor, but do you know what that means? That you are doomed to listen to my advice. To start things off, here's an incredibly novel and deep thought for you. Loyalty, passion, and morale. All of these things can easily be bought with money. Oh, Darren. I swear, you're such a good character. Commander, permission to report. We've encountered a problem. Although we're still getting volunteers, we're now seeing cases of desertion. Many who joined in Dresden campaign believe that their duty has been fulfilled with the victory, and they're not keen on staying in the garrison. Those from Canabris wish to return home and rebuild their ruined city. Lastly, there are those who are afraid of lingering in a place where demons might show up with a retaliatory expedition at any moment. My suggestion is to improve living conditions for the privates, raise their pay, give them extra rations, and reward those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield with commendations and gifts. Soldiers don't want to leave armies that appreciate them. I feel for those folks, but we have to convince them to stay. I think we might get some help from the servants of the gods. They'll tell the soldiers that the danger has not yet passed, to inspire them, to keep them up the fight against evil. As long as the wound is open, the whole world is in danger. We can't just go home and live like we used to, no matter how badly we want that to happen. Most of the Crusaders are volunteers, but they have no right to subvert military discipline. That kind of attitude is tantamount to treason, regardless of who expresses it. We have to identify the instigators, arrest them, and administer harsh punishment to make an example of them. The problem is quite simply solved with coin, but handing money out to privates is practically throwing it away. We need to pay the officers handsomely, and they'll figure out how to raise their subordinates' morale. Okay, I guess I'll ask what this staff council does. This episode's going to go long, I feel. I think we've got one more council after this one, so might as well go all in. In short, we make sure that whatever orders are given, they are executed properly. Our job is to keep the soldiers' morale high, so they always follow their officers' commands without question. As for the officers themselves, we look out for any unseemly or incompetent types who subvert the troops' trust. Okay. I have questions for the council. Seela, what do you bring to the council? It's pretty self-explanatory. We're not fighting for a sawmill here. This is a crusade against the abyss. When you're up against demons, you bring a paladin. It's a rule that's tried and very much true. Okay, Regil. I have extensive experience being in command, and as a Hell Knight, I possess a firmness that some of your other officers may be lacking. The essence of my council is not to spoil your troops, but to maintain their discipline strategically. Amidst the chaos of war, a general has to be a beacon of order and purpose to their soldiers. They will be just as grateful to receive rewards or lashes from such a general, and most importantly, they won't even think to disobey their orders. Darren, what are you doing here? Mostly I'm just waiting for it to end, but since I have little choice, I'll give you some advice on how to charm your subordinates. Be they people of importance or simple commoners, I'll tell you the biggest secret straight away for free. Money. Gold has the most miraculous power there is. Captain Harmatan? Why did the Queen appoint you to preside over this council? I'd been in the Orisan infantry for 100 years, fighting for 3 pharaohs. Then, after I joined the Crusades, I served Her Majesty Galfrey for 2 more decades. I dare to hope that I've gained decent experience over those years. I see. Let's discuss our options in further detail. Seela, what's your plan? The situation is not that dire. Morale is high and we just won a major victory, so some have let their guards down. We'll have to call for priests and paladins to get through to the volunteers that it's still early for celebration. If they leave for their homes today, Dresden will fall again tomorrow, and the day after, the demons will show up on their doorstep. Servants of the gods are indeed the masters of sweet-talking others into dying free of charge, all through pretty words. But when the choice comes down to inspired preaching or homemade pies, 9 of every 10 will look for the comfort in their home and at their table. An incentive needs to be more substantial than wasted breath. Regil? There is no place in the army for the mindset of playing soldier today, then going home tomorrow. These dangerous ideas must be suppressed with the utmost harshness. We'll identify the most vocal rabble-rousers and exact punishment on them as an example to others. They may be volunteers, but they join the ranks of the Crusaders. We can't abet in their rejection of their responsibilities, or we'll be heading towards complete chaos, and therefore defeat. That's a great plan if you want your soldiers to run back home twice as fast. They came here of their own volition. We must convince them to stay, not terrorize them into fighting. Darren, your option? Our forces are in good spirits. It's just that the euphoria of victory has gone to a few heads. No one can sober them up quicker than the officers, especially those of lower rank. We'll give our dear oafs, all those sergeants and corporals, a bonus on the sly, then promise to sweeten the deal once they've convinced the volunteers to stay. Perhaps they will do so over a beer mug, or perhaps with a broken nose. Why bother solving problems yourself when you can push them off on someone you pay? Your bought loyalty will run out even sooner than your gold. Once soldiers turn into profiteers instead of following orders, they start appraising them. They'll wonder whether or not it's worth their while to obey their general. I hardly need to explain the effect this will have on discipline. Hartiman, what do you advise? The volunteers believe that we've almost won. Great. Let's not ruin this pretty illusion. Instead, we'll turn it to our advantage. We'll increase rations and pay for our privates, rewarding the most distinguished with commendations and gifts. Who would abandon the victors when they provide you with good food and even better coin? It's naive to expect the troops won't understand that we would just be trying to appease them. An army cannot stand if it's held together by handouts and desperate promises. We shouldn't lie to our soldiers. If we build up flimsy illusions now, the demons will shatter them later. Those fighting alongside us must recognize the seriousness of the situation instead of celebrating victory when the war has just begun. Ooh, this is a tough choice, isn't it? Gonna discount Reginald, because that's a little bit too hardline. Darren's is a little bit too take my money, kind of on the same lines as Harmatan. I think I'm going to go with Sealer. Let's use people's faith. Sure thing. Faith has always helped me in my darkest hours, and it will help our soldiers too. We just need to talk to them from the heart. Thank you, Commander. Should any other difficulties arise that require your attention, I'll deliver the new report promptly. Hail, Commander. A middle-aged dwarf, who has clearly seen some combat, salutes you with one barely moving, bone-dry hand. On her face are huge, scarred claw marks. A black eye patch covers one eye, but she is watching you with the other, intent and somber. Dorglinda Stranglehold, Chair of the Logistics Council, at your service. We've got ourselves an ugly situation that requires your decision. Hopefully this council will benefit from my vast experience surviving with gear that consists of rocks and sticks, and where any dinner that's not squirming on your plate is considered a feast. All in all, kind of like our crusade. I won't lie to you, our logistics are a mess. We need more of everything, and what we do have is in disarray. Crates of provisions are rotting away in storehouses because some idiot quartermaster spilled beer on the papers, and fools are not the worst problem. There's also theft. Some officers grease palms to get a helmet with stylish plumage, or a fancy blade from Nero Cyan. Meanwhile, that means that ordinary soldiers are being armed with barely more than kitchen knives, hammer and tongs. It's time to give the entire logistics staff the bum's rush. The question is, where do we find capable and honest people to replace them? Let's get some veterans on the job, people who've had their fill on the front lines and who know firsthand what life is like for a common soldier, what the rations taste like, and how the boots are always the wrong size. My suggestion is to call experienced, well-connected supply officers from Nero Cyan. Let them leave their cushy jobs in Mendev and work up a sweat for the good of the crusade. Aye! There's only LAN on the Logistics Council? Wow. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of supporting LAN on this one, but let's ask what the council's responsibilities are. The Logistics Council deals with all manner relating to supplying the army. Most issues will be trivial and underserving of your attention. However, from time to time, serious decisions will need to be made, and that's when I convene the council. I have questions for the council? Lan, how are you of use here? I know a thing or two about gathering weapons and provisions. Compared to the war for survival we had to wage underground, you guys have it easy up here. If things go bad, I can teach your troops to live off the land and how to craft decent weapons from junk. They'll have memories of Land's special stew for years. Not sure if those will be fond memories, but they'll remember for sure. Dorglinda, how are you assigned? Over my years of doing quartermaster duty, I've managed to develop a bit of a reputation for myself. The units I'm responsible for are always properly equipped, armed and fed. Thieves, scatterbrains and reprobates promptly get the boot. Bureaucrats, who never seem to have anything, miraculously find everything they need after meeting with me. In short, don't you worry, Commander. I'm right where I belong. Let's discuss our options in more detail. Lan, what do you advise? In our tribe, we believe that the hunter's gear should be entrusted to the most seasoned hunter. To those who stalked the prey themselves and learned the price of a mistake in outfitting. An old bowstring, a dull spear, a tattered cloak. The hard way. I think that's how it should be in the army. Whoever is responsible for supplies must know war firsthand. They must have dragged themselves through the mud of the battlefield, seen with their own eyes how a rotted strap or a boot one size too large can lead to a soldier's death. They must have eaten their share of rotten cabbages and seen carts of horseshoes and pots pull up at their position instead of ammunition because of some clerical error. Assign new quartermasters from the veterans, like Dorglinda here. I bet they won't steal, and they won't let anyone else steal either. Dorglinda, your opinion? There are some great workers in Mendev who have been sitting at home for way too long. Let the Queen send them to us. Instead of counting buttons for the frock coats of Nero Cyan Royal Guard, let them sort out our supplies. and they'll already have connections in Nero Cyan. They could easily have army properly decommissioned and later sold to private buyers for next to nothing. And those buyers will just happen to be the same mercenaries we're negotiating with. Connections are all too important, as well you know. When she puts it like that, that is kind of an important stance. Having connections with people already, but we can form connections, I guess? You know what? Let's try Lan's thing. I fully agree that people who have been in a situation understand it better than someone who sits behind a desk. Veterans know what's what. They won't do their comrades wrong. They'll see they're always fed, healthy and warm. Then it's decided. No matter what our new quartermasters are like, there's no possible way they can be worse than what we have now. The results will be reported to you, and if anything else comes up, I'll call the council right away. And that's the end of the council meetings. Okay, well I guess I will end this episode here. It's gone on a little long, not too bad, thought it might be worse. But thank you all very much for watching. If you've got any advice for me, please put it in the comments down below. I'll implement it at some point. There's a little delay, not as much as there was before. And please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel and the coffee supporters. It really does mean the world to me, especially as money is tight for a lot of people right now. And as always, I'll see you next time.